Shalom, this is Amonute Tayac of Piscataway, Sophia Spiritualite, the AmaruKhan Miriyam, and we're here with a new thing. This is the foundations of AstroTarotgraphy, and I wanted to be able to explain what was going on. I know a lot of people don't understand the tarot spiral, and it's going to take several of these kind of lessons to really hope that people get an understanding of it. But we got to start somewhere. So we're going to start with the signs. And so this will be like Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, the actual signs, and the cards that are associated with that sign. Now, here we go. So this is the baseline of what's going on here. And I will post a version of this to my community post. I have the other stuff I need to post too, so it's coming. But I wanted to get this really done because I know this is, people understand this even less, and it's really important because when you look at it like this, meaning I'm not going to say each one because we're going to go over it, but every card has a degree assigned to it. Okay, so when you get a reading from me, it's not like I'm just randomly pulling cards. I don't really I do tarot readings on my astrotarotgraphy page, but I'm not really a tarot reader like you see some of these. I don't read the energy, I read your energy. When I do readings, like on my astrotarotgraphy page, I am reading the general energy, but if you see the way I do it, I'm reading the specific realms. I've never seen anyone read tarot the way that I read tarot, to be honest. I'm looking at the physical realm, I'm looking at the spiritual realm, I'm, trying to get insights in very specific ways. I'm looking at very specific sets of energy. And when I see readers do readings, most of the time they're just reading the general energy, like generally what's going on with the collective. I'm typically not doing that. I'm reading the angelic realm. Like, I'm reading the public facing version of the angelic realm. I'm reading the private version, the private side of the angelic realm. And then I'm reading the different facets of energy that I think are important to our people. This is why I don't really like doing those types of readings, because I noticed before when I was doing readings, I was getting way too much detail, and I don't want to interfere with the plans that our team has going on by revealing too much of their strategy, because I have the capability of reading those realms, and so I tend to not want to do those kind of readings. I more so like this very, very specific way of reading, and also my shadow readings, because those, I'm looking specifically into an individual or a group of people, and I'm just asking a specific question. I feel like a lot of the readers are burnt out doing readings because they're trying to read too much energy, meaning there's a lot of energy out there to read. I would suggest that people look into reading specific groups of people's energy, meaning you have somebody like Shavi Zane. She most of the time specifically is looking into the energy of the chosen ones, or specific enemies that the chosen ones have, right? A lot of the readers, they read general energy. And if they're not really comfortable in their own energy, meaning they don't know their astrology to know what is their energy, they're not really, in my opinion, they're not really able to let you know what is going on outside of the energy that they themselves present. So, for example, if you have a person who doesn't know their astrology, and they don't know that they're, an Aquarius rising or something like that, then they're naturally going to pull energy for Aquarius, or they're going to always pull Aquarius energy. It's that energy of the Aquarius trying to get a hold of them. So like if you see me do a reading, when my cards come up, I'm like, oh, that's my energy that's infecting this reading. Which doesn't really happen that often because I know what my energy is. And so for the tarot community, the reader community to actually move forward, they're going to have to do the work of learning their energy. This means learning their astrology. This means learning their human design. This means learning their moon energy. This means learning their own personal magic. It's nothing wrong with readers. I still have readers that I do watch on a regular basis because I know that they're reading the energy that's around me. And they're doing readings most of the time that I can resonate with because I'm very sure of my energy. So I can watch their reading and say, okay, this relates to me. Okay, this doesn't relate to me. And there's some readers I don't watch anymore because they can only read my energy. So I get on there and they're just like, why I keep getting the same energy every time? Well, that's because my energy is very strong and it's kind of like mingled in there, and you just keep reading my energy over and over again. You know, that's not really good. So anyway, long story short, if you wanted to read your own cards, do your own reading for yourself in the style in which I do it, this is basically all you need. Now, my readings are all different, you know, but this will give you the basic undertones of what you need to do to when you read your own cards for yourself, when you read your own energy. This will give you a baseline of how to know what energy is yours, and what what it's affiliated with. Now that's if you know your chart. I mean, you've got some type of astrology reading. This is based on your personal astrology. So if you do not have your astrology chart, go pull it up, and then you can, kind of pick this apart and do this yourself. Of course, I am offering this as a service, but I feel like it's important that everyone can also obtain this energy for themselves if necessary, or if you're dealing with somebody. Because remember, you can use this, or I use it all the time to diagnose people with what's going on with them, why they're feeling a certain way, all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of energy information you can gather from someone's chart when you apply it to this information here. Now, this information is now public information. That means that it cannot and it will not be used against any individual person who is of a positive orientation, meaning no negatively oriented entities can come through and use this information against the positively oriented entities, which is the number one reason why I make this public. I'm also not worried about people coming up with their own ways of doing readings or whatever. It doesn't matter to me because I'm not, this is not my information anyway. It just came through me. I documented it. I put it, to the test, and I know that it's accurate and I know that it works. So, let's go head on. Let's start with Aries. Okay. Aries, the ace cards. The ace cards are the ones that are closest to the Most High. They're the closest to the Emperor. The Emperor is in the center of the wheel. So the ace card is the closest to the Emperor. It's the very closest. And then it jumps to the major arcana, but the closest, and then from the major arcana, you go to the court card. Because the court cards are on the inside of the wheel. They're the top level of the inside of the wheel. They're stuck in this dome with us. The major arcana are outside of the dome. The way the major arcana reads is very different. The way that I read it is very different. It's not how anyone else reads it. Nobody else reads energy in this way. However, this will become the standard of ways that people read energy because I'm not gatekeeping the information. It's in a ley lines. People are going to have to readjust their thinking and the way that they read this energy to correlate with this style, because this is a style of energy reading that goes along or matches the time period that we're in, which is Leo, which is strength, which is the time period of the daughter. Okay, those other ways of reading the cards do not match with the energy that is related to the daughter. And you're going to see a lot of readers be very confused about the energy because we are going headfirst into the energy of the daughter. We are not hanging around with this patriarchy energy. We're also not getting stuck in this maternal energy or the energy of our brother. We're going into the energy of our sister. And so this is going to require people be flexible, and they're only going to have to be flexible because they don't want to just change their minds. I mean, it's really easy. Once I saw this, I immediately said this is what makes sense. And we'll be doing, this is the first one, but we'll be doing more on these where I will actually show you pictorially how this makes sense. This is a pictorial science. This is not a a intellectual science. This is look at the pictures, do the pictures match? I mean, any 2-year-old could do this. You know what I mean? Anyway, so back to Aries. I'm sorry, I just went off on a tangent. Okay, so Aries, Taurus, and Gemini all have the Ace of Wands as their primary ace energy. The major arcana for Aries is the Fool card, so it is actually number 4. The court card associated with Aries is the Queen of Wands. The Pips card associated with Aries are the 2, 3, and 4 of Wands. This is all Aries energy. So if you have Aries in your chart, wherever you have Aries in your chart, this is the energy that's associated with that. This is also useful for understanding the new moon and the full moon rituals that we do. Okay, so I'm not going to go into more detail. Okay, so the next energy we have here is our Taurus energy. I have a lot of Taurus energy in my chart. The major arcana associated with the Taurus is the Hierophant. That's one of my primary energies. We still have the Ace of Wands as our ace energy. Our court card energy that's associated with Taurus is the Knight of Wands. And for the Pips, we have the 5, 6, and 7 of Wands. Okay? These will get more complicated, believe me. So for Gemini, still associated with the Ace of Wands, the major arcana associated with Gemini is the Lover's card. The court cards associated with Gemini are the King of Wands and the Page of Wands. Now, this is where we start to get complicated because this puts my order of the court cards as Queen, Knight, King, and then Page or Princess. And I believe that is in that order because of the way that the cards actually communicate. And also putting the king before the princess. What father is going to let his daughter go out there unprotected? That does not make any sense. So it's more likely that the Most High walks before us and not behind us. That doesn't even make matter of fact. I know for it says in the Bible many places that the Lord goes before us. Before we even ask, He's already done. So how can the page or the princess be in front of the king? That doesn't make any sense. The king will go first, and then the page will go after. This also indicates the fact that the daughter stayed back. The mother came to this planet and incarnated in. The brother came and incarnated in. The daughter stayed back, and that's been in several scriptures that we looked at how the daughters stayed with their fathers. We also know that's what Dinah did. She did not leave her father. She tried to, but that didn't work out so well. So the pip cards associated with Gemini is the 7, 8, or 8, 9, and 10 of Wands. So just keep in mind, wherever you have Gemini in your chart, one of these cards is associated with this energy. Now, the specific cards, that's going to have to be in another lesson because that's a little bit more difficult to teach if you don't understand this information right here with what cards are associated with what sign. And this is on my tarot spiral, but the tarot spiral is hard to read because it's small. So this is just a bigger version of that, okay? So Cancer energy is next. Now we switch into Cups energy. So remember, Aries, Taurus, and Gemini are all Wands energy. Now we switching into Cups energy, which is abundance in general. Wands energy is it's correction. It's correctional energy. Wands, you beat somebody. You know what I mean? It's correctional energy. But when you hit them with a sword, that's it. They're done. There's no second, third, or fourth chances. But you can hit somebody with a wand several times, and it's really should be called sticks and not wands, because the magician has a wand, technically. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So now we're in Cups. Cups is abundance. Abundance in a general abundance. Now we have Pentacles or coins, that's specific abundance in monetary situations, but this is general abundance. And so the first card you have is a Chariot card, and I just want you to notice on the Chariot card, I just noticed this myself, he has in his little necklace, he's got a square, and that'll be important because we have an angel that has a triangle. So I just never noticed that, but he has a square. All right. The court card is the Queen of Cups, and she looks sad in this picture, but she's only sad in this position because the king has, if you look at the court cards, Queen, Knight, Page, and then King, the king has his back turned to her. But when you switch the King and the Page of Wands, then you have the Page of Wands looking at the Queen, and like comforting her. So you got a totally different scene. You don't have the Queen of Cups being ignored. You have the Queen of Cups being acknowledged, which makes a big difference. We're going into the energy of acknowledgement. People acknowledging one another's struggles and pains and all of that. So we're not going to continue to ignore people when they say, I need this, I need that, whatever. We're coming out of that energy. So the Pips card associated with this is the 2, 3, and 4 of Cups. Now, in this case, you can see the 4 of Cups and the Queen of Cups, they look similar. This is just this ungrateful energy, but that's because when you look at the cards like this guy in the 4 of Cups, he's all by himself. He's got these cups, but he's lonely. You know what I mean? He's by himself, which this is not how the energy reads for Cancer, because the very first card you have is the Chariot, where the man has built himself. So there should be no unfulfilled energy in Cancer, and that's why Cancers are out of balance, because they have a lot of unfulfilled energy. They need a partner to make it happen, and a lot of them are unpartnerable because they don't listen. No offense to any Cancers out there, but they just don't listen. People talk to them, they literally don't listen. They take the wrong advice all the time. So anyway, let's go on. The next card we have here is Leo. So of course, we're still with the Ace of Cups, which basically is communion, to be honest. If you never noticed that. The major arcana associated with Leo is the Strength card. And that's the first infinity card we have on the board. She has the infinity symbol on her head. This is the energy that we're in now. Not in Pentacles energy, okay? We're in Strength energy, and the primary reason is because you have to tame the lion from within. You can't use anything to tame this energy. You have to pull the strength from out of you in order to tame this lion, to tame the beast. It's not going to come from using the sun and the moon, which you'll see in the Magician card. It's going to come from within. And so if you're looking to fix your solution by doing some kind of magic, whipping yourself up, it doesn't work like that anymore. Now, we are indeed doing rituals to reconnect us with the energy of the moon, but that is to put us on a timeline with the moon. That's not to command the moon to do what we want. We're not commanding anything. We're requesting that we align with the energy of the moon and the sun. That's what we're doing. These other people, they use the sun and the moon in a commanding form, which is why the Hermetics has to be disabled. I don't think people have realized that it's been disabled yet, but we disabled that a long time ago. So the court card associated with the Leo is the Knight of Cups. And he's faced away from the Queen of Cups, and that's another reason why the page has to be facing, or the princess has to be facing towards the queen, because literally you got, if you look at it the way that they have it, the king's got his back turned towards her, and the knight got his back turned towards her. Nobody is paying her any attention. Of course she would be upset. This is why anyway, this is why we have to understand the energy is moving different. The pips card associated with this is the 5, 6, and 7 of cups. And that's basically how it is for us right now. You want to try to get to the 6 of cups energy, which is, sharing what you have. Sharing what you have, giving what you can, those kind of things is going to be really important. Reconnecting with loved ones, coming to the throne of the Most High like a child. That's really where you want to, the energy that you want to get into. Okay, you want to avoid this energy of, okay, I've got all these choices and I don't know what choice to make. You want to stay away from that. Not knowing what you want. Just, if you don't know what you want, then don't have an opinion. But to not know what you want and to be, trying to figure it out, asking a bunch of questions and all that. No, it's best to just let your spirit team make the choice for you if you can't, if you don't feel comfortable making the choice for yourself. And what you definitely don't want to be doing is having made a big giant mess and not even noticing that you still have them 2 cups that's hanging out there for you, where that does not make any sense at all whatsoever. There's no reason for that, because the abundance is right behind you. If you were looking, you'd see the abundance, but instead you're focused on what you don't see. That's the 5 of cups energy. All right, so next up we have Virgo. Virgo's in the house. I have quite a few Virgo placements. So this is still in the Ace of Cups, which is general abundance. The major arcana associated with Virgo is the Hermit. The court cards are the King of Cups and the Princess of Cups. Of course, and the reason why this is important is because that Ace of Swords, you don't want to be affiliated with that mess unless you absolutely have to. So you have the page looking at the father, which makes sense, right? And the pips cards associated with this are the 8, 9, and 10 of cups. Yeah, not too much to say about Virgo. Libra, however, we got a lot to say. So, Libra we're moving into the Ace of Swords energy. Now, remember, the light version of this energy, or the mirror version of this energy, is the wands. That's where you just get a little tap on the hand, a little smack, something like that. Swords are permanent. Okay, just keep that in mind when you see swords energy. So the Ace of Swords is affiliated with Libra. The major arcana is the Wheel of Fortune and Justice. And the Justice card has a sword in her hand. So I'm not really sure why people want to affiliate it with anything other than this. It doesn't quite make sense to me. I mean, I can see it because, but anyway, I'm just going to keep going. So this is different. I mean, this is different than how most people read the Justice card energy. They don't read it as Libra energy. They read it as somebody else's energy. So we're establishing that the Justice card is Libra energy. The court card affiliated with Libra is the Queen of Swords. The pips cards are the 2, 3, and 4 of swords. This is why, if you know any Libras, people who have a lot of Libra placements, they are very cutting with their words, and everything is life or death with them. I know a lot of Libras. Everything is life or death. Now, this is not even a life or death energy. Libra is not. But these people, everything is life or death, and they're always getting their heart broken. And it's like I didn't even see it coming. Well, you got the 2, 3, and 4 swords associated with you. This is how you can start to figure out what kind of people you're dealing with. This is why I like talking about the energies in general, because then as you listen to people talk, you can be like, they sound like a Libra, man, or they sound like an Aries. Okay, once you can really get more specific with people, and that way you can kind of like empathize with them a little bit better too. All right, so let's go on to Scorpio. I have the most Scorpio placements of any human being on this planet, I think. I have a lot of Scorpio placements. Like regular stuff, not like all these asteroids and parts. No, regular placements. I have a lot of Scorpio energy, which is why I'm quick to cut you off, and these Fez bros are always attacking me with the 7 of Swords, and anyway, it's a lot. It's very difficult being a Scorpio, I'll tell you that. And it's a lot of energy. So you have the Ace of Swords, like I said. Then you have the Hangman, and the Death card as your major arcana. Your court card is the Knight of Swords, who's always rushing in to save the day. That would be me. And then for the pips, you have the 5, 6, and 7 of Swords. This energy is particularly difficult because you literally have the Hangman and Death. Like, once you get hung, you're going to die. Like, there's no, that's it. Like, once you get into this energy where you have to hard reset, like I say, into this Hangman energy, if you're a Scorpio, the next step is death. Like, you don't get like a reprise to reconsider anything. So you come to the Scorpios when you want a deed to be done and for it to be over. Scorpios are going to end it. Okay, that is a fact. We're going to rush into the scene, and nobody left standing is going to be happy. That's the 5 of Swords right there. I have a lot of 5 of Swords energy. I have a lot of 7 of Swords energy. And I'm trying to move away from that and balance it out by going into my Hierophant energy. So that's why I'm frequently talking about being in my Hierophant energy, because I have to balance out all of these swords. It's so easy for me to just cut my losses and walk away, but that's not how I'm supposed to operate. I have to literally have all this stuff in my chart and walk away from it. However, even though I don't call the Judgment, that's not really one of my cards. I don't have Libra energy, so I don't call the Judgment, but I can't execute it. That's just me. I got the Death card, so I'm in the death energy with the Scorpio. Not just me. I mean, my mom's a Scorpio. My daughter's a Scorpio. We have a lot of, look, we will bring it into your situation if it's wrong, okay? That's just how it is. So that's Scorpio. Next up is Sagittarius. We have the Ace of Swords still. And this is also a change from how most people read the energy. We have the Judgment here, because after you die, you get judged. I mean, why do you think you get, like, why would the Temperance be called after death? That doesn't make any sense. Like it just doesn't make any sense. So after the death is called, then you have the Judgment, and then whoever owes the devil their soul, they gotta go pay. That's why we got the Judgment and the Devil card here. And also, this Devil card in this Sagittarius position is opposite of the Lovers, which is the angel with the 2 people. So that's why I have said, some people need to be careful that angel that they think they're working with is not really a demon. And you will know if it is a positively oriented entity or a negatively oriented entity, if you know your energy. If you're not comfortable with your energy, you won't know, because I can't tell you, because every energy that comes to deal with you is different. So it's not going to be the same from person to person. But basically, if they want you to engage in activity which demeans the value of human life, which is really important right now, I'm guessing that's going to be a negatively polarized entity. You might want to not engage with that entity. That's just my suggestion. Unless you choose to, that's on you. The court cards associated with Sagittarius is the King of Swords and the Page of Swords. The Pips card is the 8, 9, and 10 of Swords. Sagittarius have very, very short tempers. Very, very fiery. Very, very people you don't want to cross, because either they're going to put you in jail or they're going to put you in the ground. That's a Sagittarius. And so I know a lot of Sagittarius, this is how they are. I don't too much mess with them. I don't really try and get into no arguments with no Sagittarius personally, because I know they bringing that judgment, or they bringing that demon is going to jump out of them, and they don't have no control over it because they're not doing enough work to know that they have a demon that runs them, most of the time. So I try not to bother with Sagittarius too much, but I can definitely tell when I'm talking to a Sagittarius, because either they're very, very judgmental, and very, very easily possessed with demons. Very easily. They have to work really, really hard to get those things off of them. So the next card, energy, here is Capricorn. We're now moving into Pentacles energy, Ace of Pentacles. Now this is the more intense version of the Cups energy, because the Cups is general abundance, but the Pentacles is monetary abundance, specifically monetary. So this is also different from how other people have their cards. I have the Empress for the major arcana. Let's start with that. I have the Empress actually as the first card, and that's because the Empress and the Emperor are one. The Lord our God is one. One. Not okay, the Father is one and the Mother is two. No. The Lord our God is one. So really, I could put the Emperor and the Empress in the same slice. I just leave the Emperor in the middle of the spiral, and I put the Empress as one. Now this Empress is pregnant, and that's what the Tower represents, and then the star represents the impregnation, the egg, I guess. And that's only further backed up by having the Queen of Pentacles as the court card. She's literally holding a round thing in her stomach. I mean, you can't not see these pictures. The Ace of Pentacles is the Most High gifting the Empress with the ability to birth. The Tower is the birth, the whatever, and the star is that spark that happens when the egg is implanted. That's literally what we're seeing in Capricorn here. And for Capricorn, we have the Pips. We have the 2, 3, and 4 of Pentacles. I know a lot of Capricorns. I have 2 Capricorns in my household. Capricorns are really flashy. They have a lot of great ideas. They have a lot of energy. They're really, really abundant and all of that stuff, but they don't have no stop button. At least the ones that I know don't. They don't have a stop button. No matter what day of the week they're born on, they have no stop button. So that is a huge problem with Capricorns. They go and go and go until that battery just falls out. And usually by that time it's like, okay, maybe you should have stopped a little bit sooner so that the battery didn't fall out. Like, now we gotta go try and go buy a new battery. Can't buy a new battery, Capricorns. There's no another body for you to jump into, so you got to take it easy on yourself. You have to let people who are more down to earth, especially your counterpart is Cancer, calm you, bring you down to what's reasonable, okay? All right, let's move on. So the next energy we have up here is Aquarius, and you can see here we got the Ace of Pentacles again. The major arcana is the Moon and the Sun and the Magician. The Magician in this case is number 2. The Moon and the Sun retain their same numbers, but as you can see, if I had put this in the opposite direction, you got the Magician using the Moon and the Sun to do his thing. So he's got his hand up on the side of the Moon actually, and his hand down on the side of the Sun. Particularly The magician uses the moon to do most of his magic. That's what is encoded into this picture. The magician uses the moon. And this is the second card with the infinity symbol. This is the polar opposite of the strength card. So I liken this to our brother using the moon and the sun to kind of do his thing. And then on the other side of that, you have the daughter that's just using the strength from the inside. Not saying that, don't, and also you see that he's got a pentacle on the table. So he's doing some kind of magic with, to bring in more money. Look, what's on the side? Look, everything that's on the side of the hand that's up. You got the cup, you got the pentacle. That's all on the side of the hand that's up. And then of course the hand that's down is the one that's pointing to the sun. Like put that baby down. You know what I mean? Oh, this was one of my dreams. Wow, that's crazy. So the court card associated with Aquarius is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Pips card is the 5, 6, and 7 of Pentacles. I have heavy 5 of Pentacles energy in my chart. Heavy. It's very, very troubling to me, which is why I had to just do something different, because I got to get around this 5 of Pentacles energy, and it's heavily assigned to me throughout the year. So, this is why I'm just going to go in a different direction. Aquarius energy in general is related to like having money but not getting to enjoy it, or so either like in the 5 of Pentacles, the pentacles are right there but you can't see them. In the 6 of Pentacles, somebody has to give you the money, weigh it, measure it out, and give it to you. And then the 7 of Pentacles, the guy has the pentacles but he's still unsatisfied. Aquarius people are generally unsatisfied in general. They are literally unsatisfied, and it's because they need to get on the time of the moon. These are people who will do better if they go by a lunar calendar as opposed to a solar calendar. And this is also why they want us to be in the age of Aquarius, because the Gregorian calendar and the holidays associated with it are particularly lined up with the moon. So there's not really a solar calendar. It's really a lunar calendar, masquerading as a solar calendar, hiding, this lunar calendar inside of it. It's really whatever. I'm not going to get into it, but these people are much more night people. They do better at night, especially if you're an Aquarius ascendant, moon or rising. You're probably better at night than you are during the day. Or you need extreme night or extreme day. Like you don't like that in between the morning and the evening. Like you kind of like avoid those times. But people who have Aquarius placements do have a lot of abundance. It's just that they're so unsatisfied they don't have the opportunity to tap into it. So that is what I would suggest for Aquarius, man. Get yourself on a good lunar calendar, tap into your lunar energy, and you will probably feel much, much better. Also, in my opinion, Aquarius people are authorized to do this kind of lunar and solar magic more than the other individuals. So depending on how strong your Aquarius placement is, you have access to this lunar and solar magic. And I have crazy Aquarius placements. Anyway, the last one we have here is Pisces. So this is also one that's quite complicated because no one really gets it, right? So for the major arcana, we have the Temperance, we have the High Priestess, and we have the World. The High Priestess in this case is 3, so I switched the Empress and the High Priestess. And then on one side you have the Temperance, and on the other side you have the World. Now, just looking at this, you can kind of get it, but Pisces is opposite of Virgo, and so you have the Hermit card, which has that old man in the gray, and then you have that gray kind of old man robe that's matched here with the robe of the High Priestess. And then she's got that, give me that, thank you. She's got that thing on her head, the moon with the horns. And she's got another moon signal sign even on her at the bottom of the card. And she's got the pillar of severity and the pillar of justice. And that's where you have the temperance, also talking about balancing out these energies of pillar of severity and mercy. Did I say justice? The pillar of mercy and the pillar of severity. You have the temperance here that balances that out. So the temperance is, I switched that with the judgment card because this is where the high priestess who you go to when you want to balance things out. They will help you regain balance. It's a very, very spiritual placement. And of course you have the world card because Pisces is the end. They bring things to the end. This is I guess it's a traditional placement. I don't know, but of course we still got the Ace of Pentacles. The court cards is the King of Pentacles and the Princess or the Page of Pentacles. So that's divided in half there. And in this, when you think about the pictures, the Page of Pentacles has the coin that they're handing over to the Queen of Wands. So then you have the circle completed where this year, quote unquote, ends and the next year, quote unquote, begins. The Pips card associated with this is the 8, 9, and 10 of Pentacles. Very, very heavy in money. So the High Priestess, the Pisces energy is really about the High Priestess remaining in balance and balancing out their internal energies to bring in abundance, like to bring in physical and material abundance. If you have like heavy, I know a lot of Pisces, if you have heavy Pisces energy, you're supposed to be bringing about abundance left and right. That's you're supposed to be able to do it with ease, because even the 7 the 8, 9, and 10 of Pentacles are all about having bringing it from the inside. The problem with Pisces is that it's very uncomfortable because you're told that all these different cards are associated with Pisces. But when you understand that you are the one who has to bring in the physical abundance, nobody else can do it, especially if you're the only person in your circle with Pisces energy. You have to do it. Like, everybody is waiting for someone to bring in the money. That the person they're waiting for is you. And so you have to bring it in. And so you have every ability to do that. This is where you call on the angels. You got 2 different kinds of angels. You got the earthbound angels. That's the one represented by the world card. And you got the high level spiritual angels. You got both that are basically you can work with through this, especially through the Kabbalah with a Q. We'll be talking about that soon as well. But you can use the Kabbalah to Pisces placements have like full permission to get into Kabbalah, to really, really, because you got the pillars right there. I mean, it's within you. You know what I mean? The whole thing about this is it's literally within you. And so if you don't like pull it out of you, then there's not really anyone else who can do it, because the amount of pentacles on this board is crazy. For real, because you got the 8, 9, and 10, plus you got the king and the page, and the ace. Like, it's a lot of pentacle energy. And so it's a major responsibility of the high priestess to bring in the physical abundance. And I'm not saying it's easy, because you got to figure out how to balance all these energies. This is also a lot of energies. The Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces have the most cards. But particularly this Pisces has the most cards of any sign on the board. Pisces has the most cards of any sign on the board, because they've got the 2 court cards, the 3 major arcana, the 3 pips. I mean, they have the most energy. This is 3, 6, 9. They've got 9 cards of energy assigned to them. So it is a lot of energy to navigate through, which is why you have to have a way of processing it, because it is just so much energy. it's just a lot of energy. And so that goes for all of the, what are these, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. They all have a lot of energy assigned to them. And so it's being, having one of those placements prominently in your chart is quite difficult as it is. But if you have multiple, like a Pisces and a Gemini placement, or Pisces and Virgo, or maybe your north node is in Virgo, or your south node is in, north node is in Pisces and your south node is in Virgo, you got a lot of energy assigned to you. And so the energy is not good nor bad, but you have to be able to actually process it and deal with it. So I hope this has been helpful for people. We're going to be doing more of these as I process this information. Like I said, people can pull their own, cards this way, and it's very much backed up with something hard that can be tracked, as opposed to just what people are feeling out there. And so I do hope that people willingly transfer into this energy and don't go kicking and screaming, because it's going to be very painful if you do. But this is the way that they want it. So I'm just reporting the news here. I'm not making it up. I'm just, because I tried to move a few more things and they was like, no, that's not right. Don't move it. You know what I mean? And so I moved some stuff. I tried to move it back. They're like, no, you can't move it back. Don't go like that. So I don't have really a lot to say in this. I'm just, like I said, reporting the news. So we are going to have some more of these come out. Eventually this will go into some kind of like course where I'll re-record it and take all that I learned. But in the meantime, if you have questions, you can of course leave them down below. If you're able to support me this month, I greatly appreciate that. Of course, you can go and check out my other video, or go to my website, fruitsandspirit.com, and get yourself a reading. I will have some materials coming to go with this, but I think it's best to give you guys the information first. Let's go through it. And just a heads up, we do have, so the tarot spiral is based on a solar timeline. We do have a lunar timeline that's going to be coming through that I've already started to investigate, but I need to get this information out about the solar timeline before I can deep dive into the lunar timeline. So we'll be trying to get through this information pretty quick so that we can go into the lunar timeline, and then we'll have some more some more digging on ourselves to do, because we are certainly multi-dimensional beings engaged in multiple timelines at once, and the information is exciting and it's fun and it's great. And I think that we can really make a difference if we learn more about ourselves and be really committed to learning ourselves. So shalom everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.